Elaborate on that, because that's usually really good about what it means to you to be able to portray Jason and have this legacy behind you, even though you each put your own spin on it. That's good. Let's start with Steve.
I want to stay serious on that because I didn't take it very seriously when I first did it. You know, I thought this is not going to be a piece of shit movie. It's never going to happen. You know, why do I want to do 3? I was on Guiding Life with Kevin Bacon, and I was working and I was doing filming. If I'd have known then, like I said, what I know now, I would have worked part 3 for nothing. Maybe. Now you can go.
Well, now there's more to it than that. Playing Jason is no great big deal, number one. It's just a piece of stuff that's written on paper about people doing things they shouldn't do that they could be put in jail for, and that's killing people. Well, that's just part of it. And if you make a big thing out of it, and that's what we're doing here right now, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, I've been dead and killed probably 50 times in the motion picture business. By every way you can think of, by knife, gun, by hanging, drug, name it, I've been killed that way. I never looked back and said, boy, I'm sorry I took this business so seriously. I took the business seriously because I was starving to death and I needed the money to feed my family. Now, Jason, Friday the 13th, doing that was the same way. I took it to feed my family. I wasn't working, and I had done some big films prior to that, but I wasn't working then, and when you're not working in Hollywood and you have a chance to go to work, you take it. Doesn't make any difference if it's Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th was no big deal. It wasn't something that I was scared of. It wasn't something that I'd heard anything about. As a matter of fact, I'd never even seen it. But I have 2 sons that knew exactly what it was all about. And when I told them, they said, Dad, you're going to love every minute of it. That's the greatest experience in the world. Wait till you see what happens after you finish the show. You people sitting here tonight are telling me the truth about it.
Game?
Oh, go ahead.
You know, for me, 1986, it was unexpected. It's still unexpected. Fortunate, blessed. I get to look at you with sincerity and say thank you. You know, Dave, thank you for bringing us in for the panels. But every one of these guys up here deserves a round of applause for everything they've done in their careers. And it just happens, and Mr. White will tell you, over 200 motion pictures and televisions, and everybody knows him because of the Jason character. So his sons were correct, you know. But is it a big deal? It is to you, and we appreciate being part of that big deal, so thank you.
And I have to say, you know, early films, the character wasn't as widely known as it became by the time I started playing the character. And when Ken did it, we knew how the following was already. So I'm sure you feel the same way, Ken. I felt honored to be able to play the character, wanted to do everything I could to do it justice. So, I mean, you know, it's been life-changing. Being known as anything in the film business is good. And especially coming from a stunt background, you are used to being in the background. You do some of the most difficult things on a film, and it's very often not talked about. And to be able to get some kind of recognition is not what you strive for when you're doing stunts, but when it happens, I think you tend to appreciate it more because you never expected it. And, you know, I think that's basically how I would describe it for me.
Yeah, it was definitely a gift at the end of a long, 30-plus year career as a stuntman. For it to happen to me, and to be honest, when it did happen, even when we started filming, I did not know what a big deal it was. And then people started coming up to me and saying, have you looked on the internet? Have you done this? Have you done that? And I'm like, no. It just was another suit job to me. I always say this. I go, I'm not famous. Jason is. Jason is generational. He's multi-generational. There's new fans coming up all the time. And I think I honestly, yes, just feel blessed that you know, I stumbled into it, and I have all you people to thank, and I thank you so much.